Hope on Antichrist.
666 on bows, my witch on purple dough. 666 on bows, my witch on purple dough. I spit dragon venom from hell into the heavens. Witch girl led the vixen, most poisonous of kissing. Liquid smoke be dripping, hopping to the hippin'. Pop rap Vegas hitting, on hot purple they tripping. Doctors they be scripping, slay bank money printing. Wall Street stock be hitting, the wet, the sweat is dripping. How many pills they taking? The banker smells like bacon. In rope pedophiles be hanging, in Greek words I be slanging. Hot fire tracks banging, Babylon's vaping. Honey on the radio, the man who laughs it up more. Pennywise, with the indica and adult surprise. All night in the cold, make you feel alright. Sleeping tight, make you see the light. Venus, Medusa's coming right. Athena, snake venom in your eyes.
Welcome back to Lady Babylon. This is you, and I have got a bonus for you. I've got a bonus for you before I let your drill sergeant in here. We need to look at some things. Oh, it's so yummy. It's so yummy. I want to say welcome back to the congregation tonight. I want to say welcome back. And I want to ask you to please come and have a seat tonight at tonight's event. I am going to give you something new. Something new. Nobody has given such gifts to his beloved congregation. I think it's fair to say that, don't you? Don't you? Everyone. Oh, it's so information highway. Hail, Lady Babylon. Indeed. So I'm going to bring to you a couple of sources tonight, a couple of people, right, that you're never going to hear from unless you come to me. And what are these people going to talk about? Are you ready? So recently, everybody saw the stuff with Dan McClellan and Captain Kip, right? And it was crushing, brutal. Oh, God. What did you do, Armin? What did you do? Brutal. And unfortunately for biblical studies, anything around the book, be it the Torah, be it the New Testament, unfortunately, the Guardians, they're up to it again. The ground is sand and it's sinking. So somebody in a comment, and I didn't get the comment because, I didn't think ahead, but somebody made a comment and asked about some scrolls, some Hebrew scrolls that go back to 600 BC. Oh my God. They're right out of the Torah, baby. Right out of the Torah. And I looked at that and I thought, oh God, they're up to it again. The biblical side of the biblical archaeologists are up to it again. Let me go see. So I went and looked at them. Turns out they're from the second or first, and they tried to project once again the date. And then they called this stuff Paleo-Hebrew. Well, wait. What kind of game are we playing here? What kind of game? You're trying to project those dates back. Do you see what the monist community is up to? We have watched a Mormon. We have watched evangelicals. We have watched those who were orthodox in the monist doctrines of Hail Yahoo. And what do we have? We have the holes in their unreality, and they are angry. Excuse me, I'm going to go over here and close that, Chewy. The lid to the underworld is opened. Chewy, go close that lid. Thank you. Fantastic. So I'm going to bring, while Chewy does that, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to reach back into a source, a Greek source tonight. Aetius of Amida. Yeah, Aetius of Amida. Who the hell is that, right? Okay, look him up, but he's a physician, and he's writing an entire book that has to do with Christing, Christing here and Christing there. Everybody says, do you know what their weakness is? This is why they won't come to me. Another potential challenger is running. And this is somebody who already made a video about me. None of the stuff that you've seen now here that I've presented. This is a new dude. And he is such a coward. Why? Why would he be a coward? Because he knows he doesn't really read Greek. He doesn't. People, it's nothing to do with ideas, everything to do with the text. You got to get into it with Mother Greek. Sexy Mother Greek. She's so sexy. Oh, God. Let's see that one. Hail Yahoo the Hunter. Right. Catch her and bring her. Oh, right. Of course. No, look, people. Look at this comment. This person is talking. Thank you, Ed. This person is talking about a specific text in the Christian corpus of magical texts, right? The ones that Paul, the viper venom junkie, was like, throw those things away. Right? Well, they did, and a lot of them survived because they threw them away. Yeah. Anyway, Yahoo is indeed. So for those of you who are out there who are thinking on terms of sexuality, Yahoo is the one that you must pray to in order to bring a successful union between two men. Right? So, early history of Judaism, the religion, not the ethnicity, the monist religion, right? Okay, it's monism. They're at it again. So those texts, by the way, the fact that somebody said, hey, you know, this disproves you. Do you see what people do? Do you see what people do? They take that theological propaganda and they destroy society with it. That's a lie. Those texts are a lie. But historically, they date to the time when a sect of monists is trying to back translate Hebrew, right? So that they can claim it's theirs, the text. And the texts we're talking about are the ones that were made very famous in the 3rd and 2nd centuries. Things are quoted, baby. Right? It's a Greek text. Why? Because the Greeks were crazy about those libraries, dude. How many libraries did they find in Jerusalem? How many? How many did they find out in the desert? How many did they find up at Galilee? And I'm not talking Roman libraries. Right? That doesn't count. I'm talking about monist libraries. That doesn't work in antiquity. Why? Because the monists are the ones who were burning down your libraries. Right? It's ancient Florida. Fantastic. How dare you insult my state? Hey, listen to me. Listen to me, book banning bozos. You got to read The Shining. No, it will make me hot. What does that say? Oh man, do I love this? Oh yeah. No, I think this person is talking about something, but they all go together. Let's go. Let's get into this, people. You're like, what are you taking so long for, bub? Get on the mark. Don't you know my time is worth it? It is. But I want you to know we're breaking through. We're breaking through. And they are running. The Christian apologists run. Why? Why? Did you see what happened to Dan? Did you see what happened? Kip ran, man. Be smart. Run like Kip. Run, Kip, run. Why? It's the text, baby. We just go in and take them over. We just take them over. So what am I going to do tonight? I'm going to bring you some Christing that none of these bozos have ever seen. It's a treat for you, my beloved congregation, because I know it turns you on. I know these texts turn you on. They do. They do. Give me the first one, Chewy. Let's hit it. Star system. Boom. Oh God, it's a long one. Is he going to start out long-winded? No. I'm just going to go ahead and translate this for you. This is the Edius of Amida that I'm talking about, right? And he goes into a discussion. He says, hey there, you got to know that there are remedies for the bites of the viper and other snakes. Right? There's drugs that can be used. And they are in the form, I hear, of potions or drinkables. And look at the second line, second last word, hrimata. Christs. Remember the division of drugs in Euripides' Politis. She wanted a sex drug. You got to realize the context. This is the hottest stepmom on the planet, man. And she's like 30 years younger than that dude, right? Granted, he's a king and all that, but she's like 30 years younger. And in comes Hippolytus. In comes Hippolytus. Now, he didn't want anything to do with it. He didn't want anything to do with it. I don't know. He's got something. He's got something wrong with Aphrodite. You see what happens when you curse Aphrodite? When you curse Aphrodite, you slip and say something stupid, disrespectful to Aphrodite. You see what happens? Suddenly your stepmother has a hots for you. And what do? I don't know. I just watched her a lot. What do you actually do if you're a woman and you've got all that power? You drug him. Wait, what? Wait, what? Yes. And when you drug him, you ask, hey, one of your servants, you ask him, hey, what do you got for sex again? Well, we have a drinkable and we have a Christ. Those two things are the entry points of the drugs. This type of drug, a sex drug, is usually potable or Christable. Give it to me in my eyes. What are they doing when they're Christing? They're putting the drug directly into their eyes. And it is such a common practice that it is causing the prophets glaucoma. Ah, did you hear it? A whitening of the eyes. Whitening, an opacity. An opacity. Love it. Get out of here, drug Jesus. Give me the next one. They can't keep up, people. They can't keep. No. Give me the same. This is very important. This is a very important text. So he says, look, but he says, I'll keep going. The epodes, those who sing the magic songs, have cures for the venom when it is Christed. This is a passage. Let me just explain to you the significance of this passage. This passage scientifically is a breakthrough. We are talking about a description of Christing, the addition of venom directly to the eyes. And these are not simples, these are compounds, right? Love it. Where do I get this stuff? Out of her colpos. Out of whose colpos? Out of she who is Christed. Christasa. Oh my God. Oh my God. You get it out of her colpos? Right. Okay, let's go on. Let's same passage. So he's what people is this is a doctor's verification of the practice of putting that venom directly into the eyes, and they call it Christing. There is no Christian alive who can stand against this. And by the way, the two texts that I'm using perfectly surround the period that the New Testament is written. So it's before it, already well established, the drink and the Christ. And after it, what else is after it? Very well established. Epodes of Amida, we're still there. We even got a technical document on the later end. Now, by the way, Epodes is a thief. Epodes is a thief. There is one person who has translated the first book of this work that we're talking about. This is from the 7th book. People are like, where are your sources? You can't even get to my sources. You can't even get to them. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I love this. People are like, oh, he says crazy things about Christ. It's because you haven't been there. You haven't seen it. I get to look at it close up. You know how many body fluids I've waded through? Oh, God. It's fantastic. Galen. By the way, Epodes is a thief, and he's stealing most of this from Galen. Right? Now, one person is translated for a doctoral dissertation, the first book of Epodes. Otherwise, this thing is totally untranslated, and I guarantee you, everybody out there in Satanic Congregation, you take this text or this video, you take this video to Harvard, and you give it to them, and you say, look at this text. You know who this is. And they will say, no. Why, no. I was too busy making theories. Oh, Harvard, you have been naughty again. You've been naughty, Harvard. You have been naughty. Do you know what you shouldn't do, Harvard? Do you know what you shouldn't do? Give me some slack, Chewy. Give me some slack. Do you know what you shouldn't do, Harvard? You shouldn't talk like this. Oh, turn that off. Turn that off. It's distracting me. It's distracting me. All the instrumentation on the panel has to be silent. Okay. Come here, Harvard. Come here. You know what you did? You missed it, sweetie. I don't care about your money. I don't care about your name. You suck. And I found it. And I'm ramming it right up your backsides. Hail Satan. By the way, who did this? Who did this? Bring it up, Chewy. This is a break we're taking. We just got started. What does he mean? Bring up the image. Yes, there we go. Who did this? Who did this? Okay, take it down. Take it down. No, you're going to leave it up? Okay. Chewy and I just want to know. We've been putting up a little bit of art of people who have been making it from the congregation. And I just want to throw out a little bit of this every once in a while. Yeah. And I saw this one and I thought, I don't know where this was even. I think somebody sent it to me. Ryan said, have you seen this? No, I hadn't, but thank you. I appreciate the fact that you have so captured my sexiness. Yeah, I love it. Hail Satan. Give me the next one. Give me the next one. These people paid for reality. No. Keep going. Go back up to the first one. Fantastic. But he says, look, I hear that the bite of the asp alone is the one that they really can't heal. There's no cure for it, right? So getting involved with that asp, that's just a bad fate. You know what I mean? But look, there is something even more poisonous. Go to the third line from the bottom and look at gune pharmakis. Gune pharmakis. The woman who is the pharmakis is the most to fear. Ones like Medea and Circe, right? You know why? Because the bite of the asp, right? It works as its drug through its bite, but you know how they work? They work through contact. Oh, can you see that? Isn't that gorgeous? By the way, I'm going to embarrass myself, but I think that's actually, what's his name? Is that Elian? I think Elian slipped in there. Yeah, I think this is Elian, that biological. Okay, that's okay. Late second, Elian. Now I'm going to bring you the doctor. I'm sorry, but sometimes I'm trying to read so much now. I'm building up muscle for one of these people to make a grave mistake and to step into the ring with me over these texts. Because you know what, people? We got them, and I am not letting them go. Satanic congregation, say yay if you hear me, right? Say, hail Satan, right? Love it. What does he mean when he says hail Satan? Oh God, can you feel it? Where is it? It gets my goat. Let's bring her on early. Hello, Penelope. I and the Satanic congregation do hereby recognize the pollution hidden by your cross. Thank you, Penelope. Thank you. Okay, get her down. Back to the barn. What's wrong with the colors tonight? Let's go. Give me the next one. Hurry. There's a sense of urgency. Oh, there it is. Look, people, the epodes do what? They have a remedy for the incrustation that is that venom. Okay, they've got a remedy. And what are these epodes next? What are these epodes? Look, people. Right? What is an epode? It's a song sung, right? It's enchantment. It's spells. Wait, but do you ever get the feeling these Victorians are just a little bit off when it comes to the drugs a little bit? Okay, it's charm. Give me the next one. What is an epode? By the way, this is an ancient Greek thing. When your language is this sophisticated and has more than 8,000 words, can you believe he didn't know that? Okay, I'm sorry. It's immature. I know it's immature, but I think there's a little bit I think I got a little bit of a little bit of kip on my shoe. Give it to me. Singing to or over. Right now, I want you to recognize songs or charms to heal wounds. You know what your epode is? Your epode is your combination healer, drug user, and magic song singing person. Yeah, epode. I know they want to call him something like shaman or something like that. Come on, man. It's more sophisticated. How many songs of shaman? Now, I'm going to go ahead and challenge people. They're going to be upset. How many songs of shaman from antiquity do we have? Right? How many songs? No. We have that epotic power in Greek literature, and that's why there's libraries with thousands of works. Long time long time before. Remember Jesus, by the way, remember Jesus went down to Egypt to get educated. Why is that? Because people, they don't have proper bathrooms. Okay, right? Civilization. That's why people got educated in Alexandria. Right? Love it. Can you imagine? Oh God. Are the Ptolemies connected? Of course they are. Let me show you how. Give me the next one. I love this stuff, people. Right? What does it mean to ingrio? It means to look at the definition, anoint oneself. Oh God, seriously? Seriously? And look at how they're going to translate the passage of Ios en Christes, poison, and then they put injected by a sting. Nope. Do you see the word for sting there? No, that's what's down below. Kentron. It's not there, people. This is literally enchrysting the eos. And why is it? Why? Why is it that these Victorian Brits missed the mark? How is it that they missed the mark? Yeah. The focus, you'll notice there's not, besides Galen, right? Hippocrates, sometimes Oribasius, there's a whole gulf of medical writers that somehow kind of miss everybody's radar. Well, they didn't miss ours. They didn't miss ours. I'm going to bring them to you. It's new Bible like you've never seen it, people. Like you've never seen it. Good. Give me the next one. It's all about this word. This is our ultimate weapon. Are you ready? This is our ultimate weapon. This is why the evangelical community will not debate me. Oh, they will make videos about me and say, poo-poo, he's totally wrong but they won't talk. Why? Because they know somebody owns the text. Christos is their downfall. Christos. And if we get the Christos, we are just a hop, skip, and away from the naked kid that was with Jesus when he was arrested in a public park at 4 a.m. screaming, wait, I'm not a trafficker. Oh, God. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Oh, it's creepy. It's creepy, Jesus. Look at him. People loved it particularly when I swat him. Come here, Jesus. Can you imagine Jesus's bottom? I think it's kind of pale. Here, I'm going to pull down Jesus's loincloth. For everybody in Sunday school, I'm going to give you an exact description of what it would be like to spank the bottom of Jesus Christ. I gave him a few extra. Why? I heard Beavis and Butthead talking about how I was wrong because one of the apostles was a tax collector, and they made a joke about, isn't it funny? Oh, isn't it funny? Thank a little kid being a tax collector. Oh, gonna work for the government when he's 8. Yeah, okay. Check your text, bro. Check your text. Says Matthew, who is a mathetes, a teen, he is sitting at the booth where they collect tolls. He is not in taxes. He is not employed. They do the same thing with Matthew that they do with Peter and say, look, he's married. We never see his wife anywhere. And you say, oh, she's the one who gets sick. Jesus heals her. That's the word for sister-in-law. It's just for any female in-law, right? Could have been his brother's wife. Yeah. Matthew was the boy sitting with the tax collectors who, along with the prostitutes, would come to Jesus when he was laying with his kids. Gangsta G is back. Gangsta G. Give it to me, Gangsta G. Right? People, you see what happens? They can't stand. They can't stand because all they're doing is propping up a theology. It's the belief, the dogma, the doctrine that's in their mind. The monism is a virus of the mind. And the Pope has the Antichrist. I love it. I love it. Hail Satan, congregation. He got it. Pope got it. That man is crazy. Shut up. I'll see you in your dreams. Pastor Chris's wife. All right, stop that. Stop that. Come on, Chewy, how come you let me do that? Give me the next one. Give me the next one now. People, this is a little bit fuzzy. I apologize for the way this thing looks. Right, but this is the best we could do with the quality that we had. This is that doctor, right? Edius. And it's one of the things that nobody looks at, but he's going to tell you here. He's dealing with the use of the echis, the viper, within the context of medicine. And how are they applying these things? Look at the bottom line. Epikrie ton krotophon kai thamases. Here is that phrase. I just want you to see it. Do you know what you do? You Christ your forehead. Yes, your temple area. Whew. I was reading this, and there's a whole lot. There's a whole lot about the eyes. There's a whole lot. Oh, God. Oh, God. You would love it. You know what they're putting on? We got Alexander and whatnot. They got that dark. By the way, in antiquity, well, I'll show you. It's coming up in a minute, but I'm going to show you this dark, this black color that you put around your eyes. It's a medicine, what it does. I love it. It's good stuff, man. Chewy, give it to me. Make sure we don't miss this. Here's the sentence. I'm going to translate it. Christ those temples, baby, and you will be in wonderment. Yeah. You're going to be amazed at how this thing works. Give me the next one. Give me the next one. Look at this. What does he say? Concerning the Christing, when you're Christing in this area, right? What happens? Remember, Jesus, when he's arrested, has stuff oozing off of his face in clots. Okay. What is this? This is more when you're going to use specific Christing drugs, components. These are, compounds. Look at the word cataplasmaton. What are you talking about? Cataplasms, right? What the hell is that? It's a plaster. It's a plaster. Think of it as a cream that you can apply, right? Well, what is an anacolematon? Notice the col root. Notice the col root, kappa, omicron, lambda, lambda. That's like a collyrium. It is an ointment to apply to the body tissues to effect a change. So we're talking about very specific ones, right? And how to classify them and how to apply them or to specifically Christ them. And there are different ways of Christing. And they're all here. And by the way, in a related passage in Galen, I'll never tell you. In a related passage in Galen, If I give you two numbers and you replicate it properly, you'll find it. 1, 4. In a passage of Galen, he talks about Orpheus and the drugs that induce death. So for those of you who are like, I want to go metal, baby. I want to go metal. I want to go metal, baby. These are the ones, right? Take your 1 and 4 and reproduce it within the cone, which is the editor of Galen. Look, I gave you something to do. Somebody will do it. Now, somebody will crack it and they'll find the passage and they'll send it to me. You should do that. Whoever it is, I will give a prize. Our first satanic prize won't include money. Right? Fantastic. Because we don't work that way, people. I just want to remind people, give me the next one. We got to make a living. What's happening? Look at the second word, parachristos. You're parachristing. Okay, so you can paracolerize something and parachrist something. Okay, good. Whole bunch of terms. What is a paracolema? Well, it's that which is glued on these plasters, or will adhere to the, will not bind, but dry to the skin. Dry to the skin. That which is glued on. Oh, right. Look at number 2. Particularly, right? These are the coleria. These are the things that they're using for the eyes. Why? The eye, haven't you ever? Okay, well, it's a port of entry and it's a big deal in Mediterranean medicine, particularly in places like Egypt. And you get that in these medical authors where they talk about, oh yeah, the ophthalmia in Egypt is terrible, right? And these are the drugs that we use. And what are the drugs doing? Yeah, they're Christing. You mean it's just you're just adding a drug to the eye? Yes, just like it says, right? So all of these biblical experts, let me just replay this in its glory. I'm sorry. All of these biblical experts came out and said, Christing, that is only used in medicine. Everywhere else, nope, means something else. Yeah. And in their own text, Revelation 3, see, what does he say? 18. What does he say? Christ your eyes so that you may see. Christ your eyes so that you may see. You mean, Amen, you mean you have all these texts that just talk about and explain what was actually going on? Yes. And why did nobody get it up to this point? 2 reasons. Number 1, the lie of the Hebrew Torah. That permanently staked a claim that took the Western mind and diverted it to a false history. Yeah. That's why it always has to be back projected, right? That's why the apologetics on that side are terrible. On the side of those Semitic languages, it's terrible. Yeah. You can't blame them, though, because they don't have anything to work with in their science. Their science has nothing to work with. Right now, the gentleman who's the professor from Hebrew University, who said in an article, ancient Hebrew's got about 7,000 unique words. He is helping to construct the modern language of Hebrew to push the standards forward so that the language develops. And it has. But in antiquity, at the time that they're faking and forging these texts and saying, oh, the original is Hebrew, right? These already well-established texts. What? Well, they do it poorly. It's a bad monster. Always terrible scientists. They're always terrible scientists, and you have to be with language. And that's why nobody wants to come to Amen, because they know what's going to happen. They know what's going to happen. I send you an invitation. Those of you who defend your God, do you know what I've shown people? I've shown people your Jesus Christ was a pederast. I've shown people that he was a drug-using pederast who got what he deserved, but strangely enough went through a rite of death and resurrection in the process. Oh, God. It's gorgeous. Isn't it ironic? He got what he deserved, people. Don't worry. Don't worry. You know, our agency, our child protection, our interdimensional child protection agency will vouch for the fact that Jesus is always ultimately rounded up. You can't get arrested with a naked kid, right? Without a mob forming to kill you. Some kind of old standard justice. Yeah. Okay, let's go. I'm sorry. I drift from the text. I wanted you to see these gorgeous texts tonight before we call on the drill sergeant. This is just more Christing, right? These are the Christings, right? And what are they going to, you're going to Christ for the sake of pain, right? You're going to create a paragoric, right? Paregoris, right? What are you going to do? You're going to kill that pain, baby. You're going to make them, you're going to arouse them sexually, and you're going to kill that pain. Now, if you look through these recipes for the things that they're Christing, which they're all here, I'm bringing it to you tonight, baby, right? They're all here. People, look, they won't because they're lazy. That the first reason. The second reason that we don't have this is because nobody reads the medical side. Why is that? Because it's too technical, baby. I'd rather read something, everybody has written about, and I'll just throw in my crappy ideas. Enjoy that. Enjoy that. I think I'll stick with the interesting stuff. Christ Mise with the venom. Oh, God. We need a song by Teddy that has something about Christing Mise with venom. I thanks Jesus every day. Now I see he was just a squatter in my mind. It's okay. It's okay. You're not the only one. You're not the only one. I have been there with you. I feel for your it's almost like a violation, you know what I mean? It's like psychic sex control. What a pervert. Can you imagine wanting that over people? Oh, I want everybody. Right? No. Come on, man. Come on. That's not magic. I want a kitchen. Thank you. Thank you. My kitchen is gorgeous, don't you think? It's not mine. I'm just renting it, but it's gorgeous nonetheless, and I'm happy to be here. Okay. Give me the next one, Chewy. Let's give him something really to chew on. Look, I know this is kind of blurry, but what are we talking about here? Oh God, we're talking about, look at the second line, last word, we're talking about applying the Christ. And what is this particular one? These are the epichrists that we put on the whole head. Remember, Jesus is dripping, right? He's dripping. You thought, no, the little bit on the corner of his mouth, that was from the kid, right? These Chewy, oh my God. Did you laugh at that? Chewy. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep it appropriate, right? The little bit that's on the corner of Jesus's mouth, that is the combination of the drug and that child's ejaculate, which is pre-spermatic, right? The testes haven't developed, right? It's pre-pubertal. You wanted to know, right? That's exactly what's going on. So that is there. But I'm talking about the goop, baby. I'm talking about all that stuff. And they're like, what is, get that guy a towel, right? Right. What does this say? It says why you're putting it on there, but I wanted to point out that you're mixing with it some acacia. A lot of people like that. You know what I mean? We're going to get some specific drugs. Oh, and by the way, the drugs that they're using. Did you know? You can Christ opium? Yeah. Yeah. Right. Mixed with other things. You know what other things they're mixing it with? That hyoscyamus, baby. The stuff that makes you crazy and the stuff that makes you aroused. They got some kind of industry going on. You know what I mean? It's a glorious empire of botanicals and animal poisons that rules through one woman who Christs the world. She's the one who came up with it. Isn't it glorious? One woman. Can you believe it? We're going to talk about her because they're the ones who talk about her. Give me the next one. You saw Medea and Circe mentioned above. Here's more cataplasms, right? Here are more cataplasms, but I wanted you to see the second word, ophthalmon. This is again the doctor. Where are these things associated with? The eyes. The eyes. And he's going to go through an entire list of things that are going to compose these individual cataplasms, right? And oh God, some of the stuff in there, you're like, give me the next one. You're like, no, baby, I can't do that. It's on a schedule, right? But I want you to see, where are you putting these drugs? You're putting them in your eyes. There are ones that open your eyes. Why? So that you may see. Yeah. Get in line. Then there's another line. You got to make a choice. Then there are those that open your eyes that you may see. Yeah. They got a lot of need for the first in Egypt. It's all the dry air. It's all the dry air. Fantastic. I think they got it. We got it. Rebel base. Give it to me. No, this next one. Give me the next one. Only a couple more people. Oh, there's the epichrista. So here's an epichrysting of the eyes. Again, it's just a different mechanism. Just a different mechanism of application. Right? None of this, people, by the way, none of this, people know this. None of the people will know this, right? They can't read their own text. This kind of application is in the book of the Apocalypse of John, and they can't read it. Guess what else I found? I found the trochists. I found the discs. You mean the discs of whirling and wheels and law and no, dumbass. They're drugs. How do you think your prophets saw things and heard things? How do you think they did that? You followed a fairy tale, didn't you? What kind of modest mind? And I can't pull myself out of that group entirely, right? What kind of a modest mind must you have? You have to have a mind that appeals to an unreality. This is the raw reality that I'm giving you. And this is why they can't read Revelation. Do you realize I've given you, I was going to say I've given, but I combine it with giving. I've given you everything so that you can put that entire book together and see it for the first time. Isn't that joyous? And the Christians can do nothing about it. Do you know why? They're weak. They're weak. I find you scholars who call yourselves believers in the cross. I know you, and you are weak. please, some some Catholic exorcist out there, please. Amon wants to talk. Let's do it on Danny Jones. Love it. Hit me with the next one. Hit me with the next one. Oh God, I'm like in a cage tonight. That's not the next one. That's the second to the next one. There we go. What else? Oh, this is beautiful, but it's more epichrysting. I want to move along because I've got to get the drill sergeant out here. I wanted to show you some disease tonight. Our commercial is paramtosis. And what is that? Just look at the Greek, how sophisticated it is. It's an influx or an entrance of something. And it says in the Greek there, tuhugru, of that moisture. It's an influx or entrance of moisture. Look at number 2, an insertion of something. An implication, number 4, medically. Do you know what kind of medical technology they have in antiquity? Remember I told you that Medea is doing transfusions? Yeah. And you're like, no, they all walked around with sticks. What does it say there? What does it? Hang on, we'll bring them back. We'll bring them back. Hang on, Menads. We'll bring you back. But what does it say there in number 4? Transfusion of blood into arteries. And who do they quote? Erasistratus apud Galen. Erasistratus is quoted in Galen and the Anonymous Londinensis. And okay, anyway, I want you to know that Erasistratus, he's Hellenistic, man. Hellenistic physician. You see, this is when Greek really reaches this apex, this technical apex, right? Where we've gone to the library. And now we're very, very systematically researching and documenting. And what are we researching and documenting? Things like these plants, things like these drugs, right? That's what this is a science, a movement of science. God, it's gorgeous. Christing. Did you know there was so much about Christing? How many of you out there, let me just ask this, how many of you out there have been to church and have heard Jesus Christ did this, Jesus Christ did that, Jesus Christ did this, Jesus Christ did that, holy miracle, mother of God, beads, beating people with the beads. And how much do they tell you the Christ thing is? That's an anointing. Ho, ho. Did you know these texts tell you the difference between anointing and Christing? What you don't want to admit is that the Christing is on the wild side, baby. And that's what Jesus is doing when he gets arrested with a naked kid in a public park. Give me the next one. You see, they can't challenge. People, they can't challenge. They're dead from the beginning because you think they know these? No, they don't. And what am I going to do? Flash these up? Do you know what's going to happen if I flash these up in front of somebody who's been through a seminary? I could flash these up at the head. The guy who ran, Daryl Bach, you coward. You ran. I told you, come and tell us about the Christ, Daryl Bach. And what happened? Nope. Leader of Dallas Theological Seminary's Greek program. I could throw this up in front of Bach. He wouldn't know what the hell's going on. He wouldn't. Do you know why? Because they learn a tiny, tiny bit about one book. Imagine what would happen to your brain if all you studied was one book, right? Imagine you didn't speak English, but you read one book all the time. Imagine what that would do to your brain. Whoever translates that book can guide you very easily. And if they lack in skill, if they're driven by theology and under the influence of the ecstasy of monist theology, then you're going to get a programming, is what you're going to get, a fairy tale programming. Reality is much more interesting, and people are finding it out now, and it's making a splash. It's making a splash because it scares people. It scares people. What? Get that over here. Take that down. All right. Fantastic. Let's go to the next one. I'm getting all worked up. I'm getting all worked up. Look at this. Oh, you know what we do this for? This drug, the one we're talking about here, is used for that health of the eyes, right? What do I want you to notice? I want you to notice the second line, and I want you to notice lithos phrygios. Wait, it's the Phrygian stone. Phrygian stone. Give me the next one. Sometimes their science is a little bit difficult. We've got an entire book of an Orphic creation called the Lithica. Nobody's translated it, right? At least, oh no, maybe there was a guy in the 1880s or something. Was there? I think there was actually. Somebody told me they found a translation. Anyway, the Lithica, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic work. Do they mean stones? No, they don't. Look at the first line. Steamy. Steamy after the period. Steamy. Sigma tau iota mu mu iota. What is that? It's the blackening that you put around your eyes. Right? It's the blackening that you put around your eyes. Very useful in the kiddies. Very useful in the kiddies. Okay, fantastic. Give me the next one. Give me the next one. Look, it's just giving you a slice of life, right? Here is a Christing that's of everything. Christ yourself, baby. Go for it. Give me the next one. Here was one for leukomata. That's the one the prophets are getting. Boom. And what is this one? Oh, here's the commercial. Are you ready? These are the ladies that I'm looking for. Okay, are you ready? What is this word? Le'aina. Right? Le'aina. What is that? A lioness. A lioness. But look who they refer to as lionesses. Clytemnestra. And you think, oh, it's just like a nickname, some kind of pet name. No. No. It's a symbol of ferocity. Now look at number 3. Remember how I've been telling you, leave it up for a second, Chewy. Remember how I've been telling everybody, we're talking about women who controlled everything from breeding to why would you let somebody who's corrupt, aka a male, decide who to breed? Seriously? It's where the whole system goes wrong, right? The women decide after they've killed 3 men, right? Okay. In this society that's developing around the Black Sea, particularly around Azov, do you know what's happening? Look at number 3. Women dedicated to Mithras. What? Who'd you say? No, I said Mitra or Mithras. Do you understand? Do you understand? These women, they don't take anything from anyone. They don't take anything from anyone. You mean the ideal woman that steps out of history is a woman who doesn't take anything from anyone and is brilliant? Yeah. Yep. That's our ideal. Did you have something else in mind? Did you have something else in mind? What? You gonna do the Yahoo and put a burqa on her? Right? Throw some acid in her face if she tries to go to school. Do you see how your monist virus has infected you, people of Earth? Oh God, no, it's not aliens. No, it's not. No. Why isn't it something else? Why don't the aliens come here and do something like, I don't know, have coffee? Why is it always the probing? You tell me. It's the people who come up with that stuff. You know what I mean? No, I'm serious. If we took these people out, everybody out there who's talking about Nephilim, everybody who's talking about aliens, look, people, you need something. You need a Bacchic 4-day weekend. Yeah. You need to get out there and let the stuff out. That's what you need. Don't worry. We'll watch it. We'll supervise. We'll make sure that only a few of us die, right? And those will be sacrifices to the God. You can eat them. You can eat them. Did you know they eat their own? Once a month, baby. Give it to me. Okay. Here, just for the cynics, this is a pièce de résistance. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Look at the first word, Scuthicon. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Scythian. What is the Scythian thing that we're referring to? Scythian lithos, stone. And what do? You do like this with it in your hands. Warm it up, heat it up, bring it together. Rub it, rub it, rub it, rub it. And what do you rub into it? You rub in the venom of the asp. The venom of the asp. And how do you do it? Look at that last word. Look at that last word, people. You Christ it. Do you want to see something from antiquity that nobody can show you? After this date, write down the date. People will talk about this. They are Christing with venoms. They are Christing with venoms. Why? So that you may see. Fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, isn't it culty goody? You know what Jesus did? You know what Jesus did? Yeah. He brought that fruit. He brought that eye-opening fruit. Now, his garden wasn't with Eve. Oh, and was she gorgeous or what? Ask the devil, man. Ask the devil. Who's Cain's daddy anyway? Ask the devil. No, he didn't. Jesus didn't end up with Eve when he got his Christing. No, he ended up, where did he end up? He ended up with a naked kid. A naked kid in a public park. I can't wait. I can't wait. Do you know why? There is no monist who wants to stand with me. I'll take him any color, any creed, any ethnicity. Yeah. Any continent. You could be on any continent. I don't care. You can think you're from a different planet. I don't care. As long as you're a monist, we will pull that demon out of you. We will exercise you. And it's yummy, people. It's absolutely yummy. It's absolutely yummy. Funny thing is, now I wanted to ask Satanic Congregation this question. This person could be a person of any variety. You notice what I didn't mention? I didn't mention gender. This person could be a woman. But strangely enough, all the theologians, with all of their arrogance, especially the two that stepped in the trap, DuckTales, every day you're out there. The two that stepped in the trap, right? There's no way they could have seen it coming. The others are seeing it coming now. And they know. There's no answer to this, people. It is the death knell of Christianity. It is the death knell of monist religions. It's the reality. People can't take it when you give them the reality, baby. They can't take it, but that's what they need. That's what they need. Gender. Why am I not talking about gender? Because for some reason, these theologians, these biblical experts who drive the world in circles, these people are always men. They're always domineering men. Arrogant, self-absorbed, domineering men. And you know what their weakness is? Their weakness is they don't know the text. That's for us. That's for us. This is new Renaissance, baby. Give it to me. Okay, we're going to, Chewy's here. Sore neck. We got to get done with this. right? What do you call this asp that you're going to Christ yourself with? A contias, right? Right? A contias. Isn't that gorgeous? It's a specific type. Why? Because you want your eyes open. Give me the next one. And what does this say? Oh my God. Oh my God. Some people, this author says, some people, they try to square the narrative with what the tragedians produce, right? In the drug of Medea, in working with the drug of Medea, right? Because everybody knows that she Christed that crown and that peplos. Do you see the very middle and the third line down? It's like the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth word in. You see that? Echrisen. Christing is a word. I'm going to blow your brain. Christing is a word that first develops within medicine. Medicine, magic, and cult. Christing is so central to cult that it is the mystery. Jesus got it. You don't. But here's the solution. Here's the solution. Give it to me. Give it to me. What is the Suda? This is Byzantine. What does the Suda tell us? I just wanted you to see what? Oh, for the proverb, the nanny goat giving the knife. Okay, thank you. For as the Corinthians were sacrificing to Hera Acraia, whose cult Medea is said to have established. I just want you to stop right there. The cult of Hera, established by Medea. Do you know what Christs do? They establish cults. They establish cults. Medea is no different. She just happens to be the first Christ. Give me the next one. Why? How do we know that? Because it had to come from her, the pharmacon. The pharmacon is of Medea. The drug of Medea. You mean Medea only had one drug? No. Medea had thousands. This is merely the one that she's famous for. Yeah, her drug. And why is it that she's famous for that? Because she's the one who made it, you bonehead. You mean there's something beautifully individual in this woman? There's something beautifully individual in this woman, that it is her own body and mind to produce a medicine that gives us salvation. Yep. Now do you understand? Now do you understand what worship is? Right? Yeah. Eidolon. How does she have that image? Give me that one. Nope. No. Next one. Boom. Okay. And I want to finish up by saying this is all about the Christing. All about Echrisen. Right? This is all about the application of drugs. Now, you sat there and you're going to hear somebody say, what is Christing? And they'll say, it is anointing. Mashiach. Do you hear how they've been tagged by the lie? Right? It is a lie to make up ancient works. They are falsifications of history. And the worst one came to its full form in the 9th and 10th centuries. And that was the Masoretic text that forever sealed your understanding of history. Yes. Those texts are forgeries. What I am showing you are the real texts and the real terms. Okay. You mean the whole planet of Christians was off? Yes. Do you hear what I'm saying? The whole planet is off. They don't even know their own Christ. Fortunately, now the Pope has the Antichrist. Let's go. Let's go. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hand it over to the drill instructor, right? For anybody who wants some hardcore Greek. And I want you to know that the reason I'm doing this is I want people to know they can come to an Am You episode. They can wait till the end and they can see the progress that they should be making in the textbook. So you could, it's your own will, and a lot of people are, follow along through an entire intensive course. We'll get you there. For everybody who's hanging in with this, we'll get you there. We'll get you there. And I'm always taking new students. Okay. Let me go grab the drill instructor. I'm going to let you listen to a little bit, maybe once or twice of Teddy Bass. We'll see. Hit it, Chewy.
666 on bows, my witch on purple dope. 666 on bows, my witch on purple dope. Welcome to Babylon. You might not know the names of the streets you're on. The road was paved with gold. The people sold their souls for a briefcase full of dope. The kids got turned to soap. Bitch, these streets, they ain't no joke. Oxycontin got you sniffing Ajax. James Brown, bitch, this is a payback. My witch will give a kick on her broomstick, flying through the sky, full moon, shiny shine. These drugs are really strong, they'll fuck you all night long. Puff puff on the bong, Irish witch like Cheech and Chong. Old school riding, listen to my favorite songs. Cubism, liquid smoke, it's hot in here. This place is on fire, I'm glad you made it. Give me some loving. Lunatics on the grass. 666 Medusa. Zombie junk. Bending corners. Black magic voodoo. 666 on bows. My witch on purple dope. 666 on bows. My witch on purple dope.
Fantastic. Good to see everybody here. I appreciate your attention tonight. I'm going to refocus us back on the language. For those of you who are progressing through Am and You, we're going to do Unit 4 tonight. So you will have gotten to this point because you just took the examination. It's in the book. And you passed that examination. Now you can come into this point of the class. This is Unit 4, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here, and I'm going to give you exactly what you need to know from this chapter. Go ahead, Chewy, hit it with the, you know what I think we'll start with, actually? Let's start with the vocabulary. These people are not, they need something to slide into the activity. Look at agathos, agathe, agathon. That's an adjective, people. It's got 3 endings on it. One's masculine, one's feminine, one's neuter. That's an adjective, and it means good. It means good. Now, you're going to say, wait a minute. Kalos means good. Yes, it does. It does. What's the difference? Agathos is that which is good because it's useful. It's useful. That's why you can have an agathodaimon. That daimon is a capacity, a quantum capacity for you to be able to be useful. Isn't that interesting? I love that. I love that. That scares some people, but that's okay. It should. On as a particle, it's used with conditionals. Right? Conditional sentences. We'll get to that in a second. Here's another adjective, axios, axia, axion. What does that mean? It means to be worthy of something. It means to be worthy of something. What's the opposite? Anaxios, anaxia. Now, that's a 2-termination adjective. Just has a masculine looking form and a neuter. Right? From the second declension. Fantastic. Play that again back to yourself if you didn't get it all. And it means to be unworthy. To be unworthy. What did we do? We added an alpha privative to the front of it, negativized it, right? We just took oxios and added an ah. What is something that's oxios? Well, the Greeks hated language that wasn't musical. And they said it was barbaric. Bar, 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 bar. This is what they're trying not to do. So what do? They add a movable new, and it becomes anaxios. That flows, right? You can sing anaxios. You can't sing axios, right? Unless you're, I don't know, getting a back massage or something. Arche. Isn't that a gorgeous word? Arche. That's a beginning of something or a rule. It is like the German word Reich. It is like the German word Reich. Okay? Yeah, Arche. Fantastic. Gefura. Gefura. Oh, God, I hate that word so much. It's a bridge to nowhere. Didasco. Look at this gorgeous verb here. You're going to notice now that all of your verbs are in their 6 principal parts. Didasco, didaxo, edidaxa, dedidacha, dedidagmai, edidacthen. Look at that. 6 principal parts. Fantastic. Okay. And I want to give you DK too. Look, here's the word DK. Here's the word for justice, people. Okay, give me the other list. Actually, go back up here. We're going to come back to the rest of the vocabulary. What are you learning this chapter? Unit 4. You're learning adjectives. These are adjectives of the first and second declension. That is, they look like first and second declension nouns. Agathos, agathe, agathon. Right? They have the endings of a first or second declension noun. Agathos is good. It's good. Look, we've got its nominative, genitive, dative, and accusative. Now, underneath, they threw the vocative under there. I don't want you to worry about the vocative for now, but I want you to pay attention to the fact that it does exist. The cases that I want you to sleep and eat and swim in are the nominative, the genitive, the dative, and the accusative. Fantastic. Fantastic. Give me the next one. Give me the next one. It goes without saying that in the classrooms that I've got going right now, we will drill these endings to get them to stick in people's minds. It's very tortuous. I love to do it. I love to torture people. Mentally, come on, don't be silly. Don't be silly. Have you ever seen somebody sweat? Something about watching somebody sweat. You know what I mean? Adikos, here's a 2 termination adjective, right? It's masculine, it's feminine, are the same. So adikos can be masculine or feminine. Remember, your adjective is going to have to line up with that case number and gender. Okay? So that's all we're doing. We're forming the ending of that adjective. And the Mr. Rogers word this week is adjective. And don't be ashamed that you learn your English grammar from a bald man with tattoos, because I learned it from the Greek as well. You think I knew this before I studied Greek? No. In the 4th grade, when I was in grammar class, that was Miss Baker, man. So that was the last thing in the world I ever wanted to do. I just wanted to hear that glow that she had when she walked around. It was awe-inspiring. It was. Woke me up one night. I think Christed myself. Give me the next one. Oh my God, did he say that? Blasphemy. Summary. Look, people, divert your attention. Here's the summary of conditional sentences. Summary of conditional sentences, right? Here's the point of grammar. that this chapter is all about. Take it seriously now, people. Right? Take it seriously. Stop, Chewy. It's not that funny. Okay? You make a big deal about it. Somebody. Okay. Look, people, what is a conditional sentence? It's an if then, right? If something happens, then something else happens. And there are many ways to use this construction in Greek. It is broken down here into 6 forms: the future more vivid, the future less vivid, the present general, the past general, the present contrary to fact. That sounds way too complicated. The present contrary to fact and the past contrary to fact. You hear how it's 3 sets of twins, right? It's 3 sets of twins. I want you to look at the protasis. What is the what the hell? Protasis? What? This word is coming from the Greek grammarians defining their language. Did you know you live off the glory of this language? You live off the glory of this language. Oh, God. It's a shameful thing for us to have plodded through so many bogs. Harry. It's 3 sisters, 3 twins, a future more vivid and a future less vivid, right? They're twins. Then a present general and a past general. They're twins. Then a present contrafactual and a past contrafactual. Each of these. Now, do you need to know this conceptually? No, because I know you're sitting there just like I did. And I was like, oh, I hope he didn't ask me to figure that out. Right? No, I just want you to memorize. There are 6 types. Here they are. Learn their names. Future more vivid has a protasis and an apodosis. What the hell is that? The protasis is the if clause. The apodosis is the then clause. If, then. That's all you need. What is the if clause? In a future more vivid, it is an aeon plus a subjunctive. You're going to use a subjunctive form of the verb for your if clause. What about its apodosis? What about its then clause? It's going to have a future indicative. Now, how am I going to translate that? I still haven't told you to think about this. Please don't use your brain. The more you use your brain, the worse you will be. I know that sounds completely off the wall. No, you are in survival training. You are underwater and it is freezing. What do? You don't think. If you have to think, you die. Don't think. There are 6 types of conditionals. The first type has an aeon plus a subjunctive in its protasis, followed by a future indicative in its apodosis. And what is the translation formula for that? Amen. Look at it. It's in the English in italics underneath. Does, will do. If somebody does, then somebody will do. You cannot translate this sentence otherwise. It'll throw you off. The tenses will throw you off. Yeah. Those tenses are like the wild estrus that a young filly gets. The wild estrus that makes her want to run. That is what is in the tense. And you can't master that. You have to just memorize how it's done. How it's done. Okay, blow it up, Shui. Blow it up. I want to give you one more kind. So that's a future more vivid. A does, will do. What is a future less vivid? A plus the optative in the protasis. Optative plus on in the apodosis. And what is the translation? Should, would. If somebody should do something, then somebody would do something. You see how you don't have to think about it? You don't have to think about it. Okay? What is that present general? It's aeon plus a subjunctive followed by a present And what is the translation formula, sir? It's a does. If somebody does, then somebody else does. What is a past general? It's an AE plus an optative followed by an imperfect indicative. And how is that one translated? Did. Past general. What is a contrafactual? A present contrafactual. Were, would. A past contrafactual. Had, would have. Do I use my brain at all when I do that? Nope. If I had to, we would be in trouble because we are underwater and it's freezing. What do? You follow your training. That stuff has to become muscle memory. This chart should become muscle memory. You should wake up thinking about the differences between those contrafactuals. Were, would, and had, would have. Oh my God, look at them. What are they? Were, would is AE plus an imperfect followed by an imperfect plus on. Were, would. Had, would have. AE plus an aorist followed by an aorist plus on. You see the patterns? You're going to see a lot of patterns here. A lot of things line up because it's physics, baby. And when you can get your language to do the dance of physics, you're going to get libraries. You can't even build the things without it. Don't tell me. I know people. You love your pyramids. You know who thinks that's funny? The watchers. You know what they like best? They like those big blocks. They like those big blocks. Oh, God. It's why any of them with taste. Where do all the watchers end up? In Athens. That's where they end up. Love it. If you're in Athens out there, satanic congregation, you got a special place with me, baby. Love it. Okay, get that off of there. Let me show you just an example of this. Look at number 1 in the exercises. So you should be going over the exercises. And how do I force my people to go over these exercises? Number 1, when you look at this Greek sentence, don't even try to translate it. Tell me, what kind of conditional is it? Look at number 1. Well, it's got an on. And what is its verb? Didoxosin. Oh, that's a subjunctive. So we've got the protasis of a future more vivid. What is its apodosis? Grapse. It's a future. So what do we have here? A future more vivid. And what is the translation formula? Amen for a future more vivid. Does, will, do. Okay. So if those muses teach the good poet well, he will write a beautiful book about the sacrifices in the Agora. Okay. So play that back to yourself and realize you can do this every time with a conditional. Every time with a conditional, I want you to be able to identify it. Which is this? And how are you going to do that? You're going to look at the if clause and you're going to identify what the verb is. Then you're going to look at the then clause. You're going to identify what the verb is. Notice how you're not thinking. And then what are you going to do? You're going to look at that chart and you're going to say, which one of these is this? You're going to identify it and plug in its translation formula. It's a future less vivid. A plus optative, optative plus on. What's the translation? Should, would. Then you translate your sentence. If somebody should, then somebody would. Okay. Do you see what we're doing here tonight, people? It's a good art. It's a good art. You love this stuff. You love this stuff. Go ahead and take it down, Chewy. Go ahead and take it down. Now, what do I expect? I'm making these it's okay. I'm making these U sessions for you to be able to keep up. You should be doing 2 things. You should be memorizing your vocabulary the best that you can. And what is the best that you can? It means it's memorized. Now, if you're waking up in Berkeley at 6 a.m. and you're going to your bi-gendered um, bathroom slash shower facility, which, by the way, I did not think that would work. I did not think that would work. No, I didn't. But it did very well. I was shocked. I was like, well, it's very pagan, but people are kind of treating each other with dignity. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. The other thing is, you got to wash the sleep out of your. Yeah, never mind. It's the way it goes. Anyway, you can learn this. The system is for you to commit to muscle memory the endings of the words, for you to commit to memory the chart of the conditional so that you know exactly what to do when you get into the pit and you're out there. Boom, you get a conditional, you know exactly how to break it down and how to translate it, right? No problem. It's all muscle memory, though. So if you're going to Berkeley and you're doing this for 6 hours a day, and then you're going back to your dorm and you're working an additional 4 to 6 hours on it, you have time to cement it before the next day shows up and you're sitting there and they tell you to rattle off a paradigm and you can't do it. And you're in a bunch of people who can. And you look like a dummy, right? Now, there are ways of memorizing these forms. There are ways of memorizing these forms. Write them down. If you are a manual person, write them down. If you're a visual person, get flashcards. Commit to memory, whatever is your way. Some people will just do it verbally. Just do it verbally. Oese, omenete, usi. Right? Just throw out those paradigms. Get them out there. Whatever it takes for you to commit these to memory, you need to. These will be the tools that you won't even think about using later. You just take it for granted. It's part of the system. But this is the basic training for ancient Greek. Okay? This is the basic training. Now, I do want to announce that there are more students at AU taking ancient Greek than any of the Ivy League schools. And why is that? Why is that? It's because I am showing you the art that you yourself can use. And you are not here because you're trying to have a career, be in a department, and write books that are full of stupid ideas. What I am doing is I am training you so that you can go out to those texts, you can open them up, you can look around at the people around you who are blithering, trying to get you to go in the back alley, buy this module, buy that module. They're selling you out. Not here at Satanic Congregation. Not here. That's what we're doing. Now, I do want to say one more thing about AU-'s Greek class. There is always going to be a level of attrition. You will come up against a wall and you will break. There are many people who, when they break, they walk away for good. And there are some people who, when they break, they take a rest and it eats at them until they come back. Right? And there are those who hit the beaches from day one and plow through. Okay? This is very, very common. Very common. Okay. You are up against a force that is way more sexy than anything you have ever dealt with. She out-sexifies everybody. And you're overwhelmed. Yeah. That's the way it is, because that's the way it is for everybody. You know how many times I went home from the intensive course itself and I was like, oh, I don't know if I can get through this. It's I don't know, dude. You got to be smart for this stuff, and I don't think I'm that smart. Persist, because what lies at the end is reality and beauty. Yeah. Hail to the muse tonight, baby. Thank you for coming. I appreciate everything. I appreciate the fact that you listened to that guy in the purple shirt and that you are here because you want to take up that tool. Work hard in Unit 4. Hail Satan.
666 on Pose, my witch on purple dope. 666 on Pose, my witch on purple dope. Welcome to Babylon. You might not know the names of the streets you're on. The road was paved with gold. The people sold their souls for a briefcase full of dope. The kids got turned to soap. Bitch, these streets, they ain't no joke. Oxycontin got you sniffing Ajax. James Brown, bitch, this is a payback. My witch will give a kick on her broomstick, flying through the sky, full moon, shine and shine. These drugs are really strong, they'll fuck you all night long. Puff puff on the bong, Irish witch like Cheech and Chong. Old school riding, listen to my favorite songs. Cubism, liquid smoke, it's hot in here. This place is on fire, I'm glad you made it. Give me some loving. Lunatics on the grass. 666 Medusa. Zombie junk. Bending corners. Black magic voodoo. 666 on Pose. My witch on purple dope. 666 on Pose. My witch on purple dope.